Hello, everybody. It is me, Pacific. I'm going to do a video today called Men, Listen Up. It's time. A woman forwarded me a video she did off of one of mine. What was it? Masturbation, lust, and other myths, or something like that. And she said that internet porn destroys relationships. And I'm going to put the link in this video. And I wanted you men to watch it and watch it in its entirety and not ignore it. Because I believe every man needs to watch this. Every man needs to watch this because porn is not good. For those of you that are not Christians, you may not want to watch this because you'll just go, well, whatever. But I still challenge you to watch it. I want to say something. Something that really bothers me about pornography is that you would think the feminists would be screaming and yelling about this thing because it has taken women and turned them into nothing but an object. And feminists yell and scream that men don't value women, but yet they have no problem with porn. So feminists are very hypocritical. They contradict themselves. They shoot themselves in the foot. But this video is called Men Listen Up because I want you to watch that video link. And I'm going to be brief and quick. Pacific has decided to start taking some different tacks. I've done enough axe cutting at the base of feminism, and we've covered all that we can cover on this subject. Most of my viewers agree that this problem is a major problem in America and it's destroying things. But let's talk about another factor that a lot of men, even some of my viewers, are ignoring. In the last 2 weeks, I've been talking to some women who have written me through YouTube that are telling me about the abuse they've suffered at men's hands, their husbands, their boyfriends, their fathers. I can't ignore that. These are not drama queen women. These are white women saying, I love your videos and I agree with what you're saying about feminism and all this other stuff. And they're telling me about the junk they've gone through. This woman that I'm putting the link, her relationship was destroyed because the man she was with was looking at porn. We're going to talk about that. Let's start. Men, when they start looking at porn, they suddenly start looking at their wives and find that their wife is no longer full of the pizzazz that these porn pictures are full of. And let me say something, men. A lot of those porn pictures, if you study them real close, there's an awful lot of shading and makeup on those things. A lot of us men in the United States have gone to the point where a woman wakes up with a little stubble under her underarm, and we go, ew. Or she has bad breath, and we go, ick. Or she's got a teeny bit of flab because she's had children, or some little wrinkles or cellulite, stretch marks. Porn has ruined normal women. It has destroyed them. It has made them feel inferior, and it has made men look down on them, and men are out there on a conquest for Barbie, when in actuality, let me say something, men. Let me say something that Pacific, who I believe I have some pretty good taste in women. Some women that I think are attractive. Some of you might go, Pacific, you think she's hot? But then there's others, men would look at me and go, gosh, you got good taste. But I'm going to tell you something about these women that I would say are tens. I'm going to tell you my observation about those women. They're no damn good in a relationship. Why? Because they've been elevated on a pedestal. They have a huge fat ego. They demand materialism, money, and all the things that a man will give them, and they give nothing in return. Why do we men lust after women like that? Why do we give them that power? Then you take a woman who's got a little bit of weight, but I'm sorry, she's got firm breasts. This is solid. There's no stretch marks or anything, and she's solid, but she's a little bigger boned. Got cute long hair and an adorable face. And most men go, well, she's overweight. But she's sexy as all get out. Porn doesn't show those women. Porn doesn't show the average women that we see every day in the workplace, on the streets, and in the highways and byways of American life, men. It shows women that you will never get a date with, and you'll certainly never get to get laid by her. And she probably wouldn't be that good in bed anyway. I read recently A woman admitted to getting $15,000 a month for being photographed for porn stuff. 15K! Just a couple years ago, I wasn't even making that much a year. Sickening. And men are buying this crap. Men are paying these women. You'll never get a date with her. I don't mean to be gross, guys, but porn is only for one thing, and it's for this. You know? What do you get after that? An orgasm. Did you have intimacy? Did you have connection? Did you have a conversation with her? Did you go out to dinner with her? No. Has Pacific looked at and masturbated to porn? Yes. I don't know a guy who hasn't. But I'll tell you, keep looking at it, looking at it, looking at it, you get unrealistic expectations. And I'm going to get to something. There is some police studies that have been done on crime and violent crime around the United States and major cities. When they find murderers, people who murder women, people who rape women, they find that in every case, there was a heavy usage of and looking at pornography. Connection. Porn, violence, yes. Because you're dehumanizing that woman and you're using her to meet your selfish needs. Is it wrong to have a sex drive? Is it wrong to look at a woman and go, dang, she's hot? No, it isn't. Stop looking at the porn. Turn it off. But let's go further. I talked to a viewer this week. Very nice lady raising her children. I know that women lie. I know, not all. I know that some women are drama. I know that some women paint a bad picture of their exes, like my ex-wife did to me, and other things. But let me say something. There's a lot of women that are telling the truth about the crap that they've been through. Husbands that beat them, husbands that... I heard a story this week about a woman who said that her man kept buying her donuts and wanted to fatten her up because he said, I don't want other guys to go after you. She said it was easy. She ate and ate, got bigger. And then when she got fat, he suddenly says, man, you don't look so hot anymore. You need to lose 40 pounds. And then he cheated on her. You know what? When I hear stuff like that, years ago, I worked at a truck dealership. There was a woman who came down and would get the trucks from us to detail. Her and her husband owned a detailing business for CDL vehicles, semi-trucks. Go in and clean the sleeper cab out in the truck and, you know, armor all the tires and aluminum polish the rims and get that truck looking straight up. I liked her. She was a nice woman. You could tell she was kind of a burnout. She had done some hard living, but she was still blonde and cute. One day she come up, she had a short sleeve shirt on, so this huge 4-inch shiner across her arm. I said, hey, what happened? And I touched her. She goes, nothing, nothing. I said, did Joe do that? She started to cry. Yes. I said, I gently grabbed her arm. I said, you need to get out. But I'm scared. I said, your mom lives a few miles up the road. Take your daughter when he goes out for an errand. Leave the place. Go home. File a restraining order and get away from him. He was beating the stuff out of her. I know women that have been beaten. I don't understand why women stay in those relationships. I can't figure it out. Part of it is fear. Part of it is they've been told so many lies and put down so much that they believe they're no good for nothing, so they just got to endure it. Women, if you're listening to me and you are a victim of abuse, you don't deserve to be beaten on. I don't care what kind of lies you've been told and how ugly and fat and disgusting they think you are. No man has a right to do that to you. I have my preferences. I don't like obese and women that don't take care of themselves and don't shave their underarms and stuff like that, because that's hygiene. But no man has the right to belittle, put down, and tear down their woman. If men, you don't like her, break up with her, leave her in peace, and leave her alone. Abusing her in front of the kids, abusing her, telling her she's fat, telling her she's no good, telling her she's ugly. What is your problem, males? If you don't like the woman you're with, get out of it. Leave her alone and move on. Men have also been a part of the problem of a lot of feminism and why women have become so man-hating. Fair is fair. When men act like this, women go, well, what is the use? I'm meeting people every week that are in the process of getting a divorce. Some of these women are very attractive. Some of these women are in good paying jobs. Some of these women actually do things for their men, and the man's a jerk. And then they find the man's cheating on them. And I'm going, oh, why is he cheating on her? She is hot looking. I gave my phone number to a teacher just this week. She said she's getting a divorce. I was like, God, she's cute. She's nice. I don't know her. I know there's two sides to every story. And she's white. Pacific is starting to settle down on the Asian-only thing. I live in America, and it's time to be an American. It's time to live in my country and try to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. I'm going to make this statement. Not all white women are trash. Not all white women are feminists. And I'm not going to be saying, just say no to white women anymore. I would like to date a white woman again. It's just that it's been a while since I've actually ran into some that are nice. Well, they're starting to show up on YouTube. They're starting to comment. They're watching my videos. I agree with everything you're saying about feminism. I agree with your stance on spirituality. Men, there are good women out there. Stop wrecking them. For those of you that think that dating an Asian woman would be so much better, you better check yourself. Is it because you think you can boss them around and control them, and you can make her do whatever you want? You'd better stop right now and just give it up. I know a thing about Asian women, and that's bullcrap. You start messing around with Asian women, they'll be sweet and nice to you for a while. And one day they might take an iron skillet and whack you over the head when you're in your bed. If you don't think I'm joking, start doing some reading on Hong Kong and Chinese women, and some of them got tired of stuff and they let their husbands have it. They may be small people and they may not be able to withstand your punch to their face, but when you're sleeping, you better watch your back. They'll get you. Stick the knife in and leave and go get on a plane and leave the country, and guess what? You have no recourse. You think it doesn't happen? It happens. I know Filipino women in Hong Kong that have told me stories of atrocious horror of the abuse they suffered at the hands of their Chinese employer. Then I heard stories of Filipinas who had had it. And when their lady boss was asleep, they went into their bedroom and took that big sharp sword that was hanging on the wall. Yeah, they got arrested, but they couldn't put up with it anymore. Asian women aren't as nice as American women. When they get mad, you better watch out. Men that are trying to escape this country and find a woman they can boss around and order around, if you're a bad jerk of a man, they're going to get you in the butt in the end. Don't do it. Learn to deal with the people that are right in front of your face and treat them with respect. And if you've done all that and you've been a good man and then they crap on you, okay, then go try Asia. But not before. Viewers, I have to say these things. I have been hard on women. I've been hard, and I don't regret that. But Pacific doesn't shy away from things. It's time to deal with all of the truth. Biggest complaint I hear is men come home and don't even talk to their wives. Don't even communicate with them. Turn on the TV, grab the beer can, and don't do squat. I know people where the wife's been at home with children all day and all she's heard is baby talk, do the laundry, pick up this, cranky baby, fussy baby, colicky baby, change the diapers, do this, cook dinner. Husband comes home and wife says, could you please watch the baby for a minute? I've got to get this cooking done. I worked all day, that's your job. Way to go, men. Way to go. Way to go to score points. Your first response should be, honey, let me give you a hug. Yeah, let me go do that. Thank you for fixing me dinner. I'll go spend time with the kid. It's time to start dealing with men. We need to learn to become men. Pacific screwed up. I haven't always done everything perfect. And I have been the victim of some bad marriages. Did I do everything perfect in those marriages? No, I did not. Did I try? Yes. I had limited tools, limited skills, and limited maturity. But I was married to a woman for 14 years, and other than slapping her once because I blew up at something she was doing where she wouldn't stop, that was once in the beginning of our 14-year marriage, and I never touched her again. But she was so mad and so nasty to me and so horrible to me that the deciding factor for me to divorce her was one day we were in the kitchen when I was living in a town called Virginia, Minnesota. We had tried to have a talk, and she was in denial again and bitching and smarting off and making nasty, nasty, hateful comments. And I felt something rise up in me and thought, man, the only way to get her to stop it is if I knocked her in the next week. And the minute that thought hit my mind, I said, it is time to leave the marriage. I don't care what my Christian friends and pastors and everybody says. I'm not going to jail for slamming a woman. Not going to do it. There's nothing wrong with admitting that sometimes we are all tempted to explode and do something we regret. A woman can do it too. But check yourself. If you're in a relationship where there's constant friction, 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 it's going to push your buttons, and it's time to get out. I'm sick and tired. You didn't have biblical reasons to leave the marriage. She didn't cheat on you. No, she was just making me so angry and so nasty to me and didn't respect me, didn't value me, didn't submit, and I was letting her do pretty much what she wanted and being nasty, nasty, nasty. I may not have had biblical grounds per se, but when I made the decision to leave her and I moved 30 miles away to Hibbing, Minnesota, I went to bed one night and I said, God, I'm sorry. I know your word says divorce is a sin. I had peace with God that night. I confessed it. And I said, God, you know my heart. I couldn't stay any longer. Did God forgive me? By the authority of his word, he did. I'm sick of the church putting guilt trips on people and not walking in people's shoes and not knowing what went on, and women or men going off and telling their version of the story and painting this picture that is not accurate. A lot of women have done that to men. They painted this picture. I was so loving. Bull crap. Man says, oh, I'm so good. Bull crap. There's a lot of bad women. There's a lot of bad men. Men, women are like a flower. And if you keep tearing them down, they start to wilt and the petals fall off. Stop making your woman a mangina. She's a lady. Unless she's already a rabid feminist, and you probably shouldn't date her anyway. There are some women that are into things that I don't agree with. I'm not into contact sports. I'm not into biker chicks. I'm not into women that are into this tough man stuff. I'm just not. But most of the women that I'm referring to are ladies. They tried to stand behind their husband. They tried to love their husbands, and then the husband just did all these dumb things and caused them to become more jaded and hardened and calloused and lose their warmth, love, and affection. I know a lot of women that were beautiful, sweet, and warm, and then they got married to a guy. 10 years later, they're a royal biatch because they're mad. They've been rejected. They've been hurt. And now they have a problem trusting. We can't blame all that on feminism, guys. Sometimes it's our fault. Looking at pornography is destructive to your relationship. Don't buy into the lie that, oh, well, she wants to look at it with me. Why? If you can't get a normal orgasm with your girl in intimate loving without all this kinky weird stuff, there's something wrong. It's become a drug, and you need more and more cocaine to get a fix. So now we got to have partners in the bedroom, and now we got to have porn. Porn is for instant gratification, man. It is the penis Olympics. That is all it is. There is no value in porn that is godly, foundational to healthy families. It just is destructive. I know. I've looked at it. It's the penis Olympics. I have to say that. I like that term, the penis Olympics. We need a woman. Those of you men that are masturbating and lusting, you need a wife. But do not believe the lie that when you marry her that, oh, she's going to solve all my sexual needs. No, she won't. If you're feeding yourself with porn and you're doing all this, you think that that's automatically going to go away when you embrace her? No. You still got some thoughts rolling around and some garbage you stored in there that you'll be wrestling with for the rest of your damn life. Trust me. Does that mean that a woman should put a head trip on you? Oh, you looked at porn. Oh, I can't marry you. I'm just saying. Women, be easy on us. Men, be easy on your women. You're going to have to work through some stuff. And I don't believe women should hold that carrot. Well, when you become perfectly morally pure, then I'll go out with you. Women, don't do that to men. That's a losing battle. If you feel that you love the guy and you have some enjoyment together, why don't you work towards building a foundation? Okay, it's the phoenix. The city burned, but the phoenix rises from the ashes. We can start again. Well, you've been divorced, you've done whatever. Women and men, we all need to start and say, okay, the building's burned, we're sitting in our ash pile. Admit it, confess it to God, and move forward. Women, stop putting this trip of perfection at 40, 50 years old, demanding this perfect man when you've been divorced and blah, blah, blah. Stop it. Men, stop it. I admit, last week I found myself looking at some ordinary women and going, gosh, she's kind of cute. You know why? Porn is empty as hell. And when you're done looking at it, what have you gained? What does it say? A bird in the hand is better than one in the bush? A bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. A woman who loves you and that you love and that you connect with and have fun with, though you're both imperfect, is sure better than that airbrushed image in a glossy mag or on the internet. Let me tell you about those women that are posing. They reduce you to a loaf of bread. That says that about the prostitute in the Bible. And do you know what that means? That goes for the porn woman. They don't love you. They don't care. All those smiling faces where they're back like this. It's BS, folks. They're paid to do it, and they love and worship money. They don't care about you or your family or your children or your God or anything. Why? Look at that. Why do we do it? And when you're involved with a woman, if you have to disconnect your internet and discontinue your cable subscription, do it. For the sake of your union with that person. That goes for dating. Stop it. You and your partner. Ultimately, in the Bible, marriage is where you should have sex. You need to fulfill each other. Your love should be for her Her love should be for you, and you should be satisfying each other, not with porn, not with partners, not with kinky stuff, not with role playing. Yes, I was with a girl and we did that. The problem is when you're role playing, you're no longer fantasizing about her, you're fantasizing about her doing it with somebody else. It's stupid. There's a lot of women now saying they're into role playing. Who started all this crap? Men. Did women get attracted to motorcycles and leathers, or did men start pushing them that way? You tell me. Did women start getting into all these contact sports and pickup trucks, or did men start pushing them that way? I think men are responsible. And women finally started going, gosh, we got a bunch of pansy bots in here calling themselves men, and they're not dealing with the kids. They're not dealing with the problems. I'm going to have to stand up and be the man. And a lot of women have done just that. You know what? We need some hard words, men. You talk harshly to your wife. You put her down. She waits for you to come home. You come home from work, and you make some comment that her breasts are sagging, or that outfit she's got on looks like crap. Ouch. She's been waiting all day to see you, and she just wants to be in your arms, and you go, boom, and fire a dart of verbal garbage at her. Ah. Can we fix this? Can we rebuild? If you married a woman that you're not in love with, probably not. If you married a man you're not in love with, you married out of euphoric crap or to escape a problem or financial, it's gonna shatter and the whole building's coming down. Because motives will be exposed, and if you didn't build on a good foundation, it says in the Bible, unless the Lord build the house, they that labor to build it labor in vain. Do you know what that means? If God is not in it, it will fail. If God did not bring the two of you together, 9 times out of 10, that marriage is going to the toilet. So you better check yourselves. And if God did bring you together and the thrill is gone, start asking yourself why. She's sitting there getting addicted to materialism and television. Why? You the one that insisted on having cable so you could watch pro sports 24/7 and not spend any time with her? Well, time to cut the cable, boys. What's more important, your wife or a football game? I mean, I'm just getting started. Do we really love the women God has placed in our lives? Do we? Sex is not always going to be there. There are days when you're not horny for her. There are days you work at work and there's other women that are tempting you because of the way they're dressed. That's understandable. Look your wife in the eye and say, you know, it's really hard for me out there. She's not going to beat you up for it. But don't sit there and go on and on. Oh, she had really great boobs. Her nipples were poking through. She doesn't need to hear all that. Get her support. Get her to love you. I don't think that you should go to your wives every time you have a lustful thought and say, honey, I'm sorry I had a lustful thought. You don't need to do that. Go to God. But even if your wife asks you, like in the case of me in Hong Kong, she wanted to go to karaoke, and I knew, oh man, if I go in there, there's all those pretty women, and we got problems in our marriage. Yee. I said, I don't think we should go. She yelled and screamed and stamped her feet, made a scene in the flat I was in, the other Filipino and the other people in there, and I said, fine, let's go. I wasn't there 5 minutes, and the other Filipino had her arms around me, and my own wife's pushing me to dance with her. I said, I kept, no. She goes, yeah, it's okay. In our culture, we do this. No. She kept pushing on me, and I finally did. You know what that did to me? That woman threw her arms around me, pushed her breast right up into my chest, pulled me further and further into the crowd, and she goes, can I have your number? I said, I'm married. But you're so nice. And inside I'm going, gosh, she's so nice too. She's nicer than the woman I'm married to. And she was. I made a mistake. I never should have gotten involved with that woman in the Philippines. Never. But my point is, don't go into karaoke. Don't be going into the bars and dancing. I am so tired of couples saying, well, we're going to go and dance and have fun. Yeah, with a bunch of other people that dance and have fun. And what are all the guys doing in there? Oh, look at all the hot women. What are all the women doing? Look at all the hot guys. And I know women that are comfortable lusting after other men and telling their husbands, oh, I think he's good looking. Bullcrap. That needs to stop. Your man needs to be your man, and you need to stop lusting just as much as you tell men to stop lusting. And men, you need to stop it too. Quit putting yourselves in those environments. Looking at porn when you're married, looking at porn at all, looking at porn when you're dating a girl. What do you think that's going to do? What kind of a foundation is that going to give you to build on with that woman? You're going to go for the goal line. Hey, let's get it on, baby. The penis Olympics leaves you empty. I want to come home and have a conversation with a woman. I want to come home and say, hey, honey, is it just me or is it getting ugly out there in society? Oh, gosh, honey, it's terrible. I called a woman this week and we're talking about God and the Bible and things. And you know what? It's been nice just to talk about things that get you focused to go up. I've got an idea I'm toying with, guys and gals. I'm tempted on Christmas break to fly out and meet somebody somewhere who's a YouTube viewer, provided they'll let me stay with them. No strings attached. I'll pay for my own food. If they could just pick me up at the airport, let me stay with them a week, and do a video with them. Get to know them. Get in on their life. I've toyed with that idea. I thought, instead of sitting here on my butt for 2 weeks, spend a little money, catch a plane, and get out of here and go meet a YouTube viewer. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun. I have a interview, I'm going to be interviewed to answer some questions for a radio station from a very nice family in New England that wants me on a radio program slot that they have. And I thought, you know what? This is becoming more and more fun because I'm starting to learn that my videos are touching people, and I don't want to keep beating on this feminist drum. It's not doing any good. We need to beat on all the problems because I'm reaching women too. And I don't want the women feeling like that Pacific is running a He-Man woman haters club. Men, let's be fair. A lot of us men haven't been very nice to the females, have we? And I'm going to start refraining from white women and black women and this. I'm going to start saying people, women in general, and men in general. We're sinners. And we're seeing this unravel at all levels. So, it is time for us to start looking at men and what we need to do. Men need to be leaders. And driving your pickup truck with one arm over the wheel and a beer can in the other, that is not the symbol of a man. Men, you need to love your children. You need to love your wife. And the Bible says to love your wife. And loving your wife doesn't mean just going to a job and bringing home the bacon. If your wife asks you to wash the windows instead of bitching about it, you say, honey, I'll get on it. Men, you also need to tell your wives, hey, honey, I would appreciate it if you stopped spending so much money at the mall. I'm not happy about that, and I don't want us being materialist. And you explain to her why. And you lead your family the way you're supposed to. You start loving your wife, and you start complimenting her, and you start going, dang, I like that perfume you got on. Come on, put that stew on hold. We're going to go in the bedroom and make some nookie. You know what? You men need to start doing that. Are there times when the thrill is gone? Yes. But men, if you're feeling abusive toward your woman, it's time for you to end the relationship because something is wrong. Either with the relationship or with you. If you got a problem with abuse, most men that are abusing women don't rehabilitate. Let me say that again. Most men that have a history of abusing women don't rehabilitate. They will do it to the next woman and the next woman. Women, once you sniff that stuff, date is over. Change your number. Make it very clear. Don't come to my house. And if he does, don't open the door. Call the police. Let them come and escort him off the property. Not about drama. Not about complaining about all males. Don't date abusive men. Now, if a man says something harsh to you, like, you make me sick, you spend all this money, that is not verbal abuse. Calling you cunt and whore and bitch, now that's getting into abusive talk. But women, don't provoke men to anger either and smart off to them and take them on. It's a two-way street. Watch the video by this woman who had the guts to confess she loved this man and what this did. Okay? I don't know her. I've had a little bit of interaction back and forth. She seems like a nice woman. She works. She lives in a foreign country. She's from Europe. And I can't help but go, everything she's saying is true. Listen to it, men. It's for your own good. Start calling people. Start making friends. Start getting men and women you can hang out with, even if you can't find a girl right now, and turn off the porn and tell your male friends that are on the same page as you that want to go up that you got to struggle and you need some help to get out of it. Quit using the excuse. It's going to be tough, but that's a battle we men are going to have to fight and face. The video made by the woman is good, and I recommend it. Men, listen up. It's time for us to check ourselves. Not all white women are bad, not all black women are bad, not all Mexican women are bad, and not all Asian women are bad. Sometimes there's just a few bad men out there as well. And feminism sucks. But so does abusive men. So do men that don't communicate. So do men that don't stand up and lead. So do men who think that women ought to do everything and then turn around and have the gall to say, well, you don't do anything, you stay at home all day. Oh, that's really good. Men, it's time to be men. I'm not telling you to be everything your woman wants you to be, okay? You're who you are. But if she's not into the hobby you're into, don't force her to be into it. I know somebody that is one of my relatives that I love very much, but he has forced his love of guns onto his wife. His wife's from another country. She's into lady stuff. He says, I'm going to buy her a gun for her birthday. I said, dude, cousin, she doesn't want a gun. Well, I'm getting her into... I said, you're getting her into your selfish little world. You know, it's her birthday. Do you think you can take her to a lady store and let her buy some lady stuff and then take her to a nice candlelight dinner? Well, I don't get into that. Oh, so everything's about serving you. Men, when you take her, don't stand there and go, I hate going to the mall. I don't support materialism, but there's nothing wrong with a woman on occasion going and pampering herself. It's needed. Let her do it. And go with her and hold the door open for her and treat her like $1,000,000 and take her to dinner. And I guarantee you, she'll give you the best loving you ever had. And don't do that for that intent. Do it because you love her. Man, I'm going to start dealing with you. I'm going to shake all the malcontents out of my YouTube tree, and I want to make sure I've got some real followers here, not just a bunch of people saying, oh yeah, he's nailing the feminists, yeah! I want to nail everything. Are you with me, viewers? Now, if you're with me, raise your hands. Let me know in the comments. If you're mad at what I say, tell me. Be nice about it. But men, please, think about this. Listen up. Take the time to listen to this lady's video. This isn't a feminist. This isn't a drama queen. This is a woman who has flesh and blood who's tried. Okay? Sometimes we need to hear some truth from some women too. Now that doesn't contradict what I said a woman is not permitted to teach or have authority over men. That doesn't contradict that. We can listen to a woman's story and we can put our heads down and go, ugh, I've been guilty of that. There's nothing wrong with learning a lesson. Women have value. Women can also teach us something. That doesn't mean they have the authority over us, but they can teach us something too. We need to listen to our women, if we have one. And we still need to listen to women, even though I don't. I work with women I work with school teachers, people that get on my bus, and guess what? The teachers tell me, could you bring the bus here and could you come with us and actually assist us with the kids? Should I say, well, no, I'm the bus driver. I'm paid to stay on the field trip. Sure, I'll help you guys out. You know what? The women respect me for that. Wow, thanks for getting involved with us. It was nice to have an extra hand. We men need to endear ourselves to women more and be a helper and be a hard worker and help them and have them go, dang, there might be a single woman out there going, gosh, I'm not normally attracted to this kind of a guy, but he's so dang nice and I'd like to get to know him. Men, start serving women and not yourselves. I know men that are addicted to snowmobiles and cars and this and that. That's fine. But if that is your whole life and you're going to make your woman an avid snowmobile enthusiast or a 67 Cobra Mustang GT enthusiast or whatever, I don't even know if that exists. I just threw that out there. Stop it. She's a woman. If she loves you and you give her the love and the adoration she's wanting from you, she might wander out in the garage and go, hey, sexy, that car's looking pretty good. You want to take me for a ride in it? You know, stop making women into men. Stop treating them like men. Stop being harsh with them. There's going to be times you slip, but be man enough to look at your wife and say, you know what, even if you got to put your head down in the garage and stare at the floor and not make eye contact, honey, I'm sorry I was not nice to you. She'll appreciate that. Time to grow up, boys. Listen up. Pacific signing off. Bye-bye.